Hi, welcome to Fundamentals of Algebra. I'm Mr. Khan, and today's topic will be solving linear equations. Now, solving linear equations can be a very enjoyable thing to do if you know the rules properly. Sometimes it can get very hectic if you're not applying the rules. Now, let's take a look at the rules. Now, there are four basic rules for solving equations. Rule number 1. You must clear all fractions. Now, if the equation has fractions, you must clear all the fractions. Number 2, parentheses. You must distribute. That means look for parentheses. Is there any parentheses in the equation? You need to get rid of it by distributing and breaking everything down. Rule number 3, combine like terms. I hope you know what like terms are. Look for like terms, you identify them, and you need to combine them. Sometimes they are in opposite sides of the equation, and you need to bring them on the same side and combine them together. Once that's done, the last and final step is to isolate the variable. After all, that's the final goal, to solve for the variable, and once you isolate the variable, you find the answer. Now let's look at an actual example to see how do you apply these rules. Okay, let's look here. Okay, here's an example. 5x. Let's take a look here. 5x plus 4 minus 3 parentheses x plus 1 equals 9x plus 7. Okay, here we're given an equation. We're asked to solve for x. Okay, we're solving for x. Now let's take a look at the rules again. First, we must clear all the fractions if there is any. So I look around this equation, there are no fractions. Okay, so there are no fractions. I'm done with that step. I don't need to worry about that. So I'm looking at the second step here. Distribute, looking for parentheses. Are there any parentheses here? Yes. How do I distribute? This negative 3 needs to multiply to both x and 1. Now, the 5x plus 4 stays the same. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 3. Equals 9x plus 7. That stays the same. Now I have no more parentheses. Everything has been broken down. Then I'm going to look at my third step. That's combining like terms. Let's take a look. Combine the like terms. Let's identify the like terms first. I have 5x and negative 3x on the left side of the equation. And on the right side of the equation, I have 9x. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these two first. 5x minus 3x. Okay. 5x minus 3x gives me 2x, and once these two are combined together, I need to make sure I identify what's left over on this side of the equation. What's left over is plus 4 and minus 3. It's very careful not to overlook any of these. Careless mistakes can always happen. So you have, on the right hand side, I have 9x plus 7. Now my focus is still on combining like terms. I've combined two of them, and there's a third one I need to combine. So I need to move this across the equation, across the equal sign. When you move across the equal sign, you have to use inverse operation. So this plus 9x becomes negative 9x. So I have 2x here, minus 9x that moved here, and then plus 4 minus 3 equals, on that side I have plus 7 left over. Okay, here if I combine these two, I get 2x minus 9x is negative 7x plus 4 minus 3 gives me positive 1 equals 7. Okay, now I'm done combining like terms. So now I only have negative x is the only x here. So I'm going to look at the last and final step, is to isolate the variable. The variable here is x. I need to isolate it. So that means I need to move the positive 1 and the negative 7 to the opposite side of the equal sign. Now, how do I decide what to move first? Well, this is inverse operations here. And for equations, we do things things backwards. Normally you would do multiplication and division first before addition and subtraction. Now, because equations means to undo something, we will be doing the addition and subtraction first. So I will move the positive, this addition, adding 1, I'll move that to the opposite side first, and that would become subtracting 1. So negative 7x, there's nothing else left here, equals 7 minus 1, that's 6. And this is multiplication, so the inverse operation, if I move that, would be division, dividing by negative 7. So my answer would be x equals negative 6 over 7, or 6 over negative 7. That's my final answer. Done.